3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
Welcome back to TTMTrades. You know what time it is. We're going to be going over my top 3 for the week. Might even throw a bonus in there. But before we get started, this is my YouTube channel, obviously, because you're on it, TTMTrades. Please subscribe. If you don't have an account, go make one and subscribe. You got to subscribe so we can continue making money together. As far as my TTMTrades account on StockTwits, I want to thank all my new followers. Once again, everybody subscribing to my post, following my threads, I deeply appreciate it. And as always, I hope that I am adding value to each and every last one of your trades and that you're learning something. It's definitely important that you're learning something, okay? So before we get into my top 3, okay, when I say my top 3 plays for the week, all right, that doesn't necessarily mean that that particular stock that I'm putting out will take off that week. The reason why I'm saying my top 3 plays for that week is because there's a particular setup that I look for in all my breakout plays, and when I see that setup, then I put it as part of my top 3 picks for the week. So it may not take off that week. It may take off the following week or the week after that, but just know that I'm seeing the setup that I'm looking for, and there's a potential profit in that setup. And I've been, tweaking this setup for 2 years now, and it's perfect, okay? Keep in mind, I'm not a day trader. I'm not in and out of a stock that same day. I'm a swing trader where I hold for a couple days to maybe a couple weeks. I don't hold for a month. That's too long. So that's my style. I'm more of a medium term, short term type of swing trader. I'm not an in and out day by day trader. I don't have time for that. You know, I have another career, so that I do enjoy. So I'm balancing the two right now, the stock market and my other career. So and just to give you an example of that, let's look at some of my past calls. Now, when I bring up all these charts on my past calls, I've made all these calls on my StockTwits thread, and I have my Twitter account linked to my StockTwits. So anytime I post on StockTwits, it goes over to my Twitter account also. So these are all past plays that I've called with the dates, and I'll show you the timeline in which they've taken up. So the first one, AKS, I called this November 13th. As you can see down here, it ran from 432 all the way up to 661. Next one, AMRS, called it at 293 on November 12th. As you can see here, bam, ran all the way up to 427. DCIX, anybody, you can go down my StockTwits thread, my Twitter thread, to check to see if I'm over here BSing. I'm not. These are all calls that I made. I called this one on November 13th for a quick pop play, quick bounce play from 582 to 1736, and we'll just keep going down the line. You can see it for yourself. 962 to 1567. Got the dates next time. Albayo. Same thing here. Nice pop, 15 to 24 cents. J Dust. I actually got in this one at 41.50 because I seen my setup. I didn't route it all the way up to 78.06. I got impatient. I took profits up here, and I started jumping in other plays because that's when crypto started going crazy. But I called it at the bottom at 41.50, and this ran all the way up to 78.06. And then, of course, the inverse JNUG. Once I seen that J Dust topped out, I called JNUG at 12.44, and then ran to 19.34. JR, 16 cents, as you can see, to 23 cents. And the list goes on. Mayo. I started getting a lot of followers once I called the Mayo play, but I called that round in the low twos to the 446. Ticker NETE. I called the $10 to $15 bounce recently here. Check my thread. On every last one of these calls, check my thread. Riot. I caught that back on November 22nd for a nice run from $12 to $46. TNK. Caught that back on November 13th, ran from 137 to 195. UEC, caught that on December 7th. That ran from $1.49 to $1.98. WAC, a lot of people know me for this call. Seen my setup on WAC. I caught that here at the bottom, and it ran from 31 cents all the way up to 94 cents. And last but not least, XXII, 212 all the way up to 343. So if I say it's my play of the week, it's because I see a particular setup that I've been looking for and that I've perfected, and I'm telling you that there's a potential profit in the play if you're willing to hold that play and run with it. Okay, so just keep in mind, it doesn't mean it's going to take off that week. All right, so now my top plays for the week. I got a couple of them. Okay, 6 total. So I'm gonna show you, these are my 6 that I'm watching because they're all within my setup that I look for, but we're just gonna cover the top 3 and then we'll do ticker AKER at the same time as a bonus. Okay, so ticker AKER, if you all don't know, I'm doing the $100,000 challenge for 2018, where I start off with 17. Well, actually I started off with $687, but right now I got it up to $2,053 right now. But we're doing a 100K challenge this year, and we're gonna take a small account and turn it to 6 figures by the end of the year. So make sure you subscribe. All right, so ticker AKER, as you can see here. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can get a better view on this. Let's do a 3-month time frame. Oh, well, what time am I on? What time is this? Daily? Man, let's not do 3 months. Oh, I'll put 3 years, excuse me. 3 months, not 3 years. All right, so looking at this setup, you had a nice drop here, nice gap down. There was a lot of accumulation on that gap down, a lot of volume. See that spike in volume, okay? Which helps form a nice base, okay? There was a lot of accumulation in this general area. So now that we have this nice base form between the 12 to 13 cent range, it's been consolidating for quite some time, okay? A lot of accumulation and small selling volume below average. And it's a nice strong base. As you can see, the Bollinger Bands are beginning to come down, okay? So the momentum, what I look for in stocks is a momentum shift. Once I can identify that the momentum has shifted and it looks like it's in the bull's hands, then I start looking for my other setups and things of that nature to show that it's a possible breakout that's about to happen. So we can see here that the momentum is beginning to shift. Nice base form. I feel like this may have a nice pop up to 36 cents, right where this base was originally formed at, with some immediate resistance around this 25 cent mark, the 20-period moving average, and then your next resistance would be right at this 36 cents area where this base is formed. Again, keep in mind, there were a lot of traders who got in this general area more than likely, and then when this gap down, they were all trapped. So you have a lot of traders, again, excuse me, you have a lot of traders who are trapped in this area. So once we begin to push up on a breakout, then what will happen is everyone that is sitting here will want to break even. So you have what we call an oversupply of shares, okay? So once we start pushing up, all of these individuals will dump their shares off to break even and get out of this trade. So your resistance is going to be 25 cents. And then next stop would be that 36 cents mark, where a lot of resistance will be at, a lot of oversupply, where it'll cause a slight pullback, and then maybe another breakout to continue to run. But ticker AKER, that's on my watch list. What else did we say? HEB, HEB. All right, so we got HEB on the watch list. Now this one, let's zoom out. It's always good to pay attention to the past history of a stock to see how it spikes up. So if you can see it, ticker HEB, it has a habit of randomly spiking up. See how these nice spike ups? And they don't hold, okay? They don't have a history of holding. So seeing this with the last 2 spike ups, one at 39, one at 43, there's a potential chance that this one could have a random spike and potentially hit 46 48 cents. Okay, so there's a potential play here for a nice spike. Keep in mind they never hold, so if you make an entry, I would put a 2 cents trailing. I put stop limit losses on mine, so that way as the you have the breakout, your trailing stop loss will trail it by 2 cents, and then once it hits a certain point, as you can see, they never hold and it begins to pull back, you automatically cashed out and you take as much profit at the top as possible. And then if it has this pullback again and it looks like it wants to continue, then jump back in. But there's a potential breakout play in this one also. Moving on, VII. So same thing with this one. Ticker VII. It has random spikes that do not hold, but they're pretty big spikes. Okay, 33 cents to 70 cents, 38 cents to 69 cents, 42 cents to 76 cents. So they all have about a 50% return in each spike. So I would play this one the same way. It's beginning to show accumulation with a nice trend heading upwards. A lot of accumulation. Shorts are beginning to move out the way. The Bollinger Bands are beginning to constrict to show that there's less volatility with a nice breakout around the corner. So again, I would make my entry knowing that there's a nice base formed at 38 cents, and your immediate resistance as of now is 45 cents. So I would make my entry in that 40-41 cent range, and then I would put a trailing stop loss on this. So as it spikes again, as high as it does, I would put, this one swings wild, I would probably put anywhere from a 2 to 5 cent stop loss on this one. So as it spikes again and it begins to pull back real fast, you're automatically cashed out as it hits that trigger, and you take as much profit as possible. All right, let's move on. ISIG. Another potential breakout play, and it has nice spikes also. It does the same thing. Bam, good spike here, another spike here. Okay, so Bollinger Bands are beginning to consolidate. Bollinger Bands are beginning to constrict. Nice base formed here with a support at $1.16, resistance at $1.30. So right now you're sitting right at $1.25. If you want to take a risk and be greedy, I would say try to make your entry at $1.19, $1.20. If you can get in that low before it takes out. If you can't, then I would take the entry right at the 20-period moving average of $1.24, and then hold this for a nice breakout. Bollinger Bands, like I said, are beginning to constrict, which shows there's less volatility and a lot of consolidation in this area. Normally when you have low volatility areas with consolidation, there's a breakout bound to happen, and it shows that the momentum is in the bull's favor. So this is a good safe entry, and it should have a nice breakout here soon. And that's my 4, man. I've been talking about JAG. Let's talk about JGX, because this one I've been talking about it for a while now. But the Bollinger Bands are, hold up. JAGX, the Bollinger Bands are constricting something crazy. Nice base formed here at the 11 and 12 cent range. So good support. Immediate resistance is at 15 cents. Right now sitting at 13.4 right in the middle. So 13 cents is a great entry. But the Bollinger Bands are constricting something crazy, which means there's a nice breakout bound to happen, and it shows that the momentum is in the bull's favor. So if you were to make an entry, I would put it right around 13 cents. Immediate resistance would be, like we said, 15 cents. Right here, right where this base formed at 17 cents. And if you can break through those two, then the next one will be 24 cents. So nice breakout play here, and good potential profit. Nice setup. So those are our plays for this week, along with tops. I'll let you all go and look at tops. In my past plays that I called last week, I got the chart saved. AMRS finally broke out. Well, it broke out of that $4 resistance, but the immediate resistance is 432. So if you are in AMRS, I would put my profit taking right around this 432 mark. Take profit, wait for that pullback, and then hop back in because it's definitely going to take off. BTCS got 120% gain on this. Right now, this one is pulling back. The high was 57. It dropped all the way down to 7 cents. It reached up to that 50% retracement, and right now it's pulling back. So we have different trend lines, as you can see. It broke this immediate trend line. The one to follow next would be right here at this 13-cent mark. So there's a possible chance that this 15 to 18 cent range will hold, but there's also a possible chance that they could drop down to 14, 12 cents. So if you can get in that low, put your entries in at that level, get that bounce play, and then it'll probably head back up to the 61.8% retracement at 39 cents, which makes a good 100% return play minimum if you play your entry just right. I guess we talked about this. MYO, ticker MYO. So this one making me a little nervous. Immediate trend, the resistance is at $1.46. It's currently retracing, pulling back and consolidating in this area. So either one or two things are going to happen next week. This is going to break out of that $3.55 to $4 range and start heading upward. If this does not hold, then this will, I honestly believe, retrace back down to that 330, 340 range. That's my honest belief, and so it's going to happen. And then once it retraces, then we'll have a nice healthy bounce and takeoff. For the overall trend, my actual price target is 784 for 61.8% retracement is what I'm looking to take my profits, but I'm trying to play my entry just right. If it breaks above $4 on high volume, then I will be chasing. If it does not break above $4 on high volume and it begins to fall and violate that 350 support, then I'll put my entry in right at 330 to 343. And last but not least, ticker NETE. So I called this one a while ago as it was pulling back. I said the immediate support would be low 10s to $9.68. It actually had hit that $10 range of support, bounced up to 15, had a nice pullback. As you can see, the pullback is on low volume. The volume's decreasing on every single pullback, which shows that sellers are exiting the stock. So possible could consolidate right at this $11 range for a couple of days and then have a nice bounce play breakout to head back up to this $24 range. So potential 100% play right here. So play your entry just right. I'm not going to tell you what entries to make. You make those, but setup is looking nice. If it breaks that $11, $10 support range and falls through, then I would completely leave this one alone, because then it looks like it may drop back down to that 648 range down here. So be careful with your entries, but a nice potential play here. So TTM Trades, those are my plays. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hopefully we can continue making money together. And wish me luck on this 100K challenge. I got a good feeling I'm going to get it, but wish me luck.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.